Alright, guys, so we're going back to the Energon universe with Scarlett, Special Mission. This was a comic that was sent to me by my friend Chris. Chris, thank you once again. And yeah, I gotta be honest, I was so looking forward because I've been following in trade the Energon verse comics. It's been a solid relaunch of both G.I. Joe and Transformers, and it's been really solid so far. Like, it has been nothing short of just a solid relaunch of these characters after an extensive lore building universe in over at IDW. So yeah, it's so good because the first again, I've been reading this in trade and I've been wanting to read more. And yes, I do. Before anyone asks, I do have the other volume of Transformers. Chris did send me the next volume 2 of Transformers, Transport to Oblivion. So that'll probably be the next comic review you see coming up shortly. And yeah, I also am aware that the Destro comics came out earlier this month. So I don't know if Chris is going to be sending me the Destro trade yet, but yeah. But yeah, other than that, let's get started. Now, another reason why I'm excited to read this Scarlett comic was because, well, it was essentially written by a writer who I thought should have been the writer for G.I. Joe, and that is Kelly Thompson. Kelly Thompson is quickly becoming one of those writers I'm really enjoying. I really enjoyed her short-lived Black Widow series. I really dug her Birds of Prey comic, as well as I really absolutely loved her comic on her first issue of Absolute Wonder Woman. Can't wait to read that in trade. Anyway, so, and like I said, after reading Black Widow, I was like, I'm so ready to read this Scarlett book, and I really hope she got G.I. Joe. Not to say anything bad about Joshua Williamson, but I was kind of like, Kelly Thompson's actually really good at doing spy espionage stuff than I would say most male writers today. And it's so weird to say that. Like, I know that's going to be kind of heretical, considering that, you know, no disrespect to Larry Hama, who's been, you know, trucking this series since the G.I. Joe comics since the Marvel era. But, like, Kelly Thompson clearly has, like, an understanding of spy books. So, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this book. So once again, we're still building G.I. Joe in this current timeline, in this current part of the Energon universe. Scarlett is on her own mission. She's not part of G.I. Joe, and what she's doing is infiltrating the Arashikage. She's been sent by Stalker, another G.I. Joe, who's been sent in to infiltrate the Arashikage because that he believes that they are becoming a bigger threat and on the world stage. The Arashikage are in talks of getting close to collecting a weapon that will give them untold power. And also, Scarlett has a, personal stake in this matter because one of the people within the Arashikage that she wants to help is Jinx. Yeah. So, if you're wondering if Snake Eyes shows up in this comic, no, he's not even mentioned at all. That's what I find interesting about this era of G.I. Joe and Transformers, is that the Energon universe is really depending on both a mixture of known and lesser-known characters, and doing things differently with them. Which is a lot, because, again, both the Transformers and G.I. Joe pantheon of characters is vast, and a lot of characters got shuffled to the side. So it is kind of cool to see, like, I'm sure you can't do G.I. Joe without Snake Eyes. That's just given. So I'm sure they're building up to Snake Eyes being when Snake Eyes finally shows up in the comics, it's gonna be big. Like, it's gonna be a big deal. Like how they're gonna probably treat Megatron's, return to the Decepticons in a big light. But yeah, Snake Eyes is not mentioned. There is kind of a mention to someone in Scarlett's life, but it could be a reference to Snake Eyes. But yeah, right now Scarlett is trying to infiltrate the Arashikage and trying to protect Jinx from Storm Shadow, who is the big reveal here. Now, what's interesting is that they don't mention Jinx and Storm Shadow are relatives. If you guys know your lore, or your G.I. Joe lore, then you know that Jinx is the cousin of Storm Shadow. But they don't bring that up at all. So I don't know if in this continuity they're going to say, like, they aren't related, or if that's going to be a big reveal later on. But for all intents and purposes, yeah, Jinx and Storm Shadow are cousins. But yeah, this comic also brings a lot of, like, cool espionage to Scarlett. Like, we always knew Scarlett was the biggest one of the biggest badasses in G.I. Joe, but, like, Kelly Thompson gives her a little more, gives her enough bite that makes you go, God, I wish you were writing G.I. Joe. And I really enjoyed, like, there's a great moment where, like, to show how hardcore Scarlett is as a character, she pulls open a surgical wound. While she's locked up, she pulls out a razor blade that she was hiding in her guts. Jesus. and then proceeds to kill her way out to prove herself to the Arashikage. I really there's just some also great artwork in here. I really like how fast-paced it feels. Yeah, I'm trying to show you, like, a good, solid image of these characters. Like, yeah. Like, it's really... It's vibrant, but also has, like, this cool edge to it. I don't know how to describe it, per se. But I really enjoyed... the artwork. It's also, again, kind of a building... It's another building block to the Energon universe. It's another... Like, this is just to start up the stuff with the Arashikage, who are not part of Cobra yet. And they may not even join Cobra in this continuity. That's what I like about the Energon universe, is that the Energon universe is going in places that are familiar yet different. I really enjoyed seeing Scarlett and Jinx kind of like... They're playing a really dangerous game here. The weapon that they're trying to get is also called the Sword of Life, which was something that was in previous continuities of G.I. Joe. But here, instead of being magical, it's actually an Energon-based weaponry. That's something... Now, in this continuity, Cobra is trying to find Energon and produce weapons out of it. So, yeah. Again, hence the Energon universe, and we're sharing the G.I. Joe and Transformers are sharing a universe, and it's slowly, really going to go to a G.I. Joe versus Transformers book or event at some point. We are laying the building blocks for those too. The comic is definitely a series. This comic represents everything cool about the slow build up to the road to G.I. Joe. I can't wait to read the Destro book and seeing more. More groundwork being put for the Cobra side and leading to, the bigger growth and the road to G.I. Joe, as well as the extensive growth of the Energon universe. I have really been loving this, and this comic is full of action. It's a great spy book, and again, Kelly Thompson just rocks it, just absolutely rocks it on characters like these, and I would have loved to have seen her on G.I. Joe. No disrespect to Joshua Williamson. I just felt like Kelly Thompson, after reading Black Widow and now this just kind of solidifies she should have been writing G.I. Joe. But maybe she'll get like a G.I. Joe title or another G.I. Joe character in the future. So, yeah, I kind of hope she does like a Cover Girl or Lady J book, or hell, Also, I forgot to mention, Snow Job is in this book. Did everyone remember Snow Job? I know we all make fun of him, but I was like, Snow Job! I was like, oh, it's so good to see you, man. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm fighting a headache right now. But yeah, I thoroughly have been loving the Energon universe. I can't wait to read the Transformers, to read the next volume of Transformers. The Energon universe just continues to be nothing short of awesome, and I can't wait to see what happens next. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this volume of Scarlett, like this Scarlett miniseries? You guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Chris, thank you once again, and other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.